Hello everyone, welcome back in this channel. So in this tutorial we are going to discuss on how to create different tables in Microsoft Word or insert different tables in Microsoft Word. So I'm going to do it practically. So the first thing to do, I'm going to open on Microsoft Word. So I'm going to open on Microsoft Word, then I'm going to use this black document. For example, I want to create different tables, and this is how you're supposed to do. So the first thing to do is to click on insert. So you're going to follow my pointer, click on insert. So you're going to left click once, and then it is going to open this menu here, and then you can see here up here there is an area written table, and this is where you're going to left click once. So basically I want to start by inserting a table which has 4 columns and 4 rows. So this is what you're supposed to do. I'm going to scroll downwards up to this area written insert table, whereby you're going to left click once, and then it is going to pop up this menu here, whereby it is required of you to indicate the number of columns and the number of rows that you want your table to be like. For example, I want to create a table which has 4 columns and 4 rows. So the number of columns, I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to adjust it down. I'm going to adjust it to 4 columns. As you can see here, I've adjusted it to 4 columns. And then on the number of rows, I'm going to adjust it still to, with this upward arrow here, to 4 rows. And then after you have indicated the number of rows and the number of columns that you want your table to be like, you're going to click on OK. As you can see here, click on OK. And basically you have inserted a table with 4 columns and 4 rows. For example, I can use this table here to input this data here. So we have marks there, and on the next we have males. So insert a table according to the data entry that you want to use. So I'll put females. So as you can see on your screen, and then I'm going to insert, I'm going to write total here. So I'm going to use this table for this purpose. For example, I want to input the marks. For example, those who scored between 30 to 40. So those who scored 30 to 40, and then the males, let's say there were 8, and then the number of females, they were 6. So on the total 8 plus 6, that will give you 14. So maybe I can still insert more data here. For example, those who scored between 40, so those who scored between 40 and 50, and those who scored still 50 to 60. I'm going to include 50 to 60. So on the males, maybe I can input 16, and then on the females I can input 10. And then the total definitely will be 16 plus 10. That will give you 26. And those who scored between 50 and 60, for example, I can input 14 there. And then those who scored between, and the number of females, I can put 16. And then definitely the total will be 16 plus 14, that will equal to 40. So as you can see here in this table, whereby you have 4 columns and 4 rows. For example, it may be required of you to delete this table. So if you want to delete this table here, this is what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do is to select all the columns and then the rows and then delete. As you can see here, for example, I'm going to start from this column here, where I'm going to left click once, and then I'm going to select all the columns and all the rows, and then I'm going to right click once, and then it is going to pop up this menu here. And then as you scroll downwards here, there is an area written delete table, whereby you're going to left click once, and definitely you'll delete that table. So let us create another table using the same procedure. So what you're supposed to do is still click on insert button here, that is left click once, and then left click on table here. Then you're going to scroll downwards up to this area written insert table. You're going to left click once, and then it is going to pop up this menu here, whereby it is required of you to indicate the number of columns and the number of rows that you want your table to be like. So for example, I want to create a table with 3 columns and 5 rows, and I'm going to give this computer a command that I want 3 columns. So I'm going to adjust here. I'm going to adjust downwards up to 3 columns, and then the number of rows, I'm going to insert 5 rows. So I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to adjust it to 5 rows, and then click on the OK button. So I'm going to click on the OK button, and definitely I'll have inserted a table here with 3 columns. 3 columns, as you can see here. This is column 1, column 2, column 3, and we have 5 rows. That is the first row, the second row, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So maybe I can use this table to insert this type of data here. For example, I can use the name. I can write the name in this column. Then the next column I can write gender. And then on the third column I can write the year of birth. I can write the year of birth. And then maybe the first name here we have Jacob. The second name we can use Isabel. Then the third name we have Sophia. You can use Sophia. Then the last name we have Michael. So on the gender, definitely Jacob, this goes for a boy. Then the year of birth, this is 2006. Then Isabel definitely goes for a girl. And then the year of birth, maybe you can write 2004. And then Sophia definitely goes to the gender, goes to a girl. And then the year of birth, we can put 2010. And then Michael, we can write that it is a boy, the gender is a boy. So we are going to write boy here. And then the year of birth, you can use 2011. So basically we have created this table here with this type of content. So basically when you are creating a table or when you're inserting a table, you insert a table according to the data that you want to feed in that table here. So for example, if you want to remove this data, earlier on we have seen how to delete the table. So for example, if you want to remove this table here, you can use the undo button. So you can follow my pointer here. So up here there is a button here where it is written here undo, type in. So you are going to left click once, and then you are going to undo all the details that you had inserted in that table. So we are going to create one last table here. We are going to insert one last table here. So you are going to follow my pointer. You are going to use still the same procedure, whereby you are going to click on insert, and then you are going to click on table here, and then I'm going to scroll downwards up to insert table. And then at this time I want to create a table which has 2 columns and 5 rows. So a table here which has 2 columns and 5 rows. So I'm going to use, on the number of columns, I'm going to adjust to 2. So I'm going to adjust 2 columns, and the number of rows, I'm going to adjust to 5. I'm going to adjust to 5, as you can see here. And then after I'm through with this, I'm going to click on OK. And definitely I have created a table here which has 2 columns and 5 rows. So for example, I can use this table here to input such kind of data here. For example, I can write person. Let me use uppercase. So I'm going to use person. And then on the next column here, I can write age. So I can write their ages. So the age. So maybe the first person I can use Chris. So the first person I can use Chris, as you can see on your screen here. And then the second person I can use Karen. The third person I can use Sarah. And the last person here, I'm going to use Dennis. And then on the ages here, maybe Chris, maybe he has 47 years. And then Karen, we have 29 years. And then Sarah, we have 45 years. And then the last one, that is Dennis, he has 38 years. So as you can see here, this table here it has a total number of 2 columns and 5 rows. As you can see here, this is the columns, this is the first column and this is the second columns, and then the number of rows are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically you insert a table according to the data that you want to insert in that table. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Basically that is how you can create different type of tables in Microsoft Word. Thank you very much for following this video, and if you are new in this channel, remember to subscribe, comment, share, like, and also hit on the notification bell so that you'll always be notified